Welcome to the campfire. Today we're going to be playing some more Dyson Sphere and getting ready for tomorrow with X4 with the new DLC dropping. As always, if you like the video, like it. If you have questions, comments, concerns, witty remarks, recommendations, and suggestions, put them in the comments below. Subscribe if you want to, and let's get right back into this. So that must be back at the other base. We're on the home planet. So first and foremost, to get things traveling between the two zones, we need this logistics drone, which requires steel. Steel and copper makes that. Do I see any copper here? Yes. Okay, we do have plenty of copper available. Granted, I believe... Yeah, this place has 21 million copper and 20 million iron. So we got a lot to work with. Let's first start up iron. Then we'll go start up some copper. Looks like, I mean, if we can get a couple of things going here, that'll make this the easiest. To begin with, anyways. Then we just need to drag everything down. All the power over here. Biggest problem is getting everything kind of laid out in a way that makes sense. I guess our best bet is just to use this area over here for the production.
When out of the building range, hold shift and click the right mouse button on the ground to move the mecha.
Yeah. We can go and set this up. Not quite close enough. Alright. There we go. Got these all going and running. That'll bring copper and iron together, and that'll allow us to start building the next, or at least the production facility. Downside being, we may have to fly back and forth, at least for a little bit. Alright. We can do copper construction, iron and steel. Stone is probably going to be a problem here, isn't it? Not a big problem, but still. Let's get everything kind of built out, laid out, and see what we're working with. So I don't think... My main plan is not to do primary construction here. Build the parts we need, but otherwise have things dragged back to the first planet, where our primary construction zones are. Alright. 1, 2, and 3. Maybe I should have done it this way. Should've, would've, could've, did not. And 1, 2, 3. There we go. That looks a lot smoother. Just get things started up. Yes, yes. Alright. Second thing I need to do right away is build up defenses, because there are 3 bases here. So that's going to be a complication. But as I've noticed, especially at the first or earliest stages, it's really not a big deal just to use a few Ghost turrets to take care of everything. So that's what we're doing. Okay, now we're getting these made. Alright, so that should be sufficient, especially since all 3 bases seem to be closer to that side. These 2 cover most of the area, along with this kind of filling in the gap. So there we go. Plus the slightly heavier wall over on the other side, because again, that's where they're closest to, and usually that's where they will go. So next is to build the interplanetary station. Just missing titanium. We can get that going. Should probably have enough titanium to make 2. That way we can have place 1 on the other side. Alright, well we got 2 of these, or 1 of these going at the moment. And the biggest thing we need to be transporting is the titanium. So that'll work for this.
A logistics station.
I do need to
You've
make
taken the
more of
first
these.
step in establishing a planetary logistics network.
That's going to be
Set the
frustrating.
logistics station at the supplying location to supply, and the logistics drones will automatically deliver cargo to any other logistics stations in demand on the same planet.
On the
Please remember to
same
deploy
planet?
logistics drones into the logistics station, either a supply or demand one. The logistics drones only work for the
that
logistics
is
station they belong to.
not what I was hoping for.
Application complete.
Okay, so that's planetary. So interstellar is what we're looking for? Yeah, that is very... I mean, it's not technically wrong. It's misleading. There we go. Planetary, I would have thought being between different planets, and because interstellar is between stars. Either way, whatever. Annoying, but oh well. I kind of feel like at this point, after you've got the distribution logistics system, this one should have been between planets, because the jump from between planets is between stars. Whatever. Alright. Fine. Let's take a look at... what else can I do then? I mean, I guess I can just manually carry titanium back and forth. That's not really ideal, but it's about our options. Alright. Let's set up one of these then to gather up titanium. We don't need that here. Might need it over at the other facility, to be fair. Just start doing that. I don't even know how much titanium we actually need over there, to be also perfectly honest. Because that doesn't require titanium. That does... no, does not. Steel and copper. Does anything even require titanium? Why did I want to come here? Or is this premature? This may have been a bit premature. I mean, we do need it for setting up larger construction zones on the main planet. And we could just start setting up this place for basic construction in general. We can't even do energy matrices yet, can we? Where's that research? Structure matrix. Alright, so we need this one done, which is coming up next. Then we need this one. Okay. And then what does this require? Okay, that's why we needed the titanium. Was to get the next research level. That makes sense. Now I know why I did what I did. I mean, like I said, we could start doing basic construction. One thing I'm going to need to do is I'm going to have to go back for the conveyors and whatnot. Just fine. But I should grab up all my fuels so that I can get there and back regularly. Let's put some stuff away that will be needed here. Alright. Grab the fuel sources. And then we'll start heading back. Stellar map. Indicator to it.
Cruise mode.
Then we just start going. It's not a quick journey, but you know, we'll get there. Boost ourselves up and start refueling. I mean, it is kind of fun to be able to go between planets. And the game looks beautiful in space. Am I gonna miss? Please don't miss. Oh, I'm gonna miss. Dang it. Well, you know what they say, shoot for the stars. Or shoot for the moon, because if you miss, at least you're 1 billion miles away with your PS. Alright, let's go in for a landing, see what we can do. How bad is this going to be? Now, where do I want to put... Oh, yeah, you're out of iron. So that was the last of that one. Finally, that ran out. So we can get that out of our way. And in fact, probably start placing titanium down somewhere. The other downside is that everything here is kind of... yeah. We're not really hurting for space there. Alright, I'm gonna start working on expanding our research. As much as I can, anyways. The downside is how this is all laid out. Made sense at the time, and now it's limiting. Just ever so slightly. Because bringing in more of everything and getting it constructed and put in is going to be the hard part. Well, I suppose we could pull copper and iron off to the side together and then feed it into the same line. That does, in theory, sound like it would work. Alright. And while we're waiting on that, I'm going to grab what we came here to grab, which was these. I think we've got the other devices going.
Research complete.
Yes, that is fantastic. We got that research done. Now this one is going to take forever and a
Replication
day.
complete.
We can probably speed that up ever so slightly. Oh yeah, we have more everything set up here to do circuits. We could just transport it over. It's not that big of a deal. Good. What I should do is also build one of these. Slap down where the titanium is going to fit. Right in the middle here. Where does this... Oh. I intended for that to show me where it was at, and I screwed that up royally, don't get me wrong. That was on me. Alright, so titanium. First and foremost.
Flight mode.
We bet that that was down at the base where all this is sitting at. Yeah. Hey, they're level 5 now. And almost constantly fighting. Alright. Can I... Yep, okay, I can pick that up. Let's set you in a spot here. Do you even have... You didn't have any drones left. What about... Can I do the next one? Yes. Set these up at least... the primary function of these for me is they repair. So in case there's any repairs that need to be done, we've got that going. The other absolutely wonderful function is that they do grab the materials from the dropped drones, which can be helpful. That gives me an idea for the titanium base, but
Flight mode.
for now we just go back over here and grab up or get things moving around. It is going to be a while until energy matrices are done, or the structure matrix. So let's redo how this is all going to lay out. I want to get this going too, so that we have more options with the fighters. Vein utilization needs to be researched, probably ahead of the drones. Got the enhanced structure, then do these, then toss in to finish this research. There we go. Well, time to just get a bunch of things going. Research is getting completed a lot faster than it was. This place isn't attracting nearly as much as I thought it would, thankfully. At least not nearly as many attacks are happening yet. Can't really build those here. I was kind of hoping there'd be oil, but I'm not seeing any. Do I know how much oil is on a planet? Crude oil. Got it, yeah. So I can see crude oil on the planet and there's none here. What about on this planet? Maybe it just doesn't tell me until I get there. But if we could set up a Dyson swarm, what does it take? So I'd have to build these out at the other planet, obviously. And then bring the ejector here. What does it take to build a solar sail? Graphene and photon combiners. Well, that's not so bad. Really should have started setting that up on the other planet while I was there, but I started seeing error messages like this and thought that that was going on out here, that things were getting bad. But while I'm here, I'm going to put these up at the corners, especially since I know that they're going to grab materials. That way we can farm some items that otherwise would be harder to get or require a lot more construction. Foundation, all right, there we go. Make that work that way. All right. And we can put a few more turrets up.
Flight
Offer a little bit more protection here than we had going. Cover that potential blind spot. Oh, okay, there we go. It's not as frustrating as I thought it was going to be. I thought there was going to be a problem there, but there was not, thankfully. There, that'll cover the blind spot that was offered by... I mean, they did technically cover it, and the third one over here kind of did, but there was potentially a blind spot there, and I didn't necessarily like it. Then we should add another one there.
upgrade complete.
Yes. The research is done. So that offers us... Alright. Then we could put 6 fighters on us at once. Oh, why not? Throw it there. Just put it somewhere. That way it's not in our inventory, no longer causing a problem. Those just require a lot of... Okay. And at some point I'm going to need to do missiles. Just put together a depot that just makes everything required for missiles, and then... Oh boy. I have to find coal here somewhere. I mean, it supposedly exists on this planet. I just don't know where. If it exists. Does it exist? Very small amount. Basically only useful for making missiles, but we could always just import them. So nothing else fights space. It's very weird because you'd think laser towers would be just fine against space.
Insufficient materials.
Yeah. Alright. Well, at which point probably just head back and start working on the Dyson swarm. Because everything here is about as good as it gets. Bring a bunch of titanium back with us.
Flight mode. Cruise mode.
Oops. Alright. That's not gonna help me. Alright. What's the button? There we go. Gonna give us a guideline over to where we're going. And zoom.
Dyson sphere.
Yeah.
Now use it to eject solar sails into space to form Dyson swarm. You must supply solar sails to each EM rail ejector and configure target orbit for solar sails. You can also copy orbit data from an ejector and paste to another. If you want a more diverse Dyson swarm orbit, click the Dyson sphere button at the bottom left corner of the screen to open the Dyson sphere panel. There you can customize orbits for your Dyson swarm.
Okay. Optimize. How do I... Oh, there we go. The heck? Too close to planet orbit. Alright. I do... Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I'm almost thinking just set it to default and let it do its thing. And then how do I get them into... Yes, that works, yeah. Wrong direction though. Needs to be pulling in, not throwing out. Okay. And then from there we need a ray, I think it was. Yeah, ray receiver. Which requires a fair bit of infrastructure to make work. We just need a bunch of silicon, which we got right here. Should probably build one or two of these, make it easy on ourselves. And then we need a bunch of these. My thought on that one is we can build all the stuff needed to make it. It's just gonna be not frustrating, complicated. Alright. So first and foremost requires these, which is gear, magnetic coils, iron plates. So we can do gears here. No, no. Let me do what I want to do, dang it. There we go. So build gear. Magnetic coils will require these.
Research complete.
So it's a good thing I built this out. Don't need a lot of this going, but we do need enough to make this simpler on ourselves.
Replication complete.
Okay. Gotta figure out how I'm going to do this, though. Okay. There we go. Got a bunch of these going. We can make use of those for building more of these, along with grab a bunch of iron plates. So we need to get just a lot of things going at once. I'm gonna make 2 of those as well to speed up a different spot. Been thinking about it for a little bit and I should have been doing it already. Nikolaus 1 is about to be attacked, but that place is well defended, especially against level 1 or level 0 enemies.
Replication complete.
It would do us a lot better just to be working on this. Alright. So first and foremost is to get these running. Which, there we go. You know, I thought this was simple at first, or simpler than Factorio at first, but it is quickly becoming just as complicated. I'm kind of glad, though, to say one thing is that it eases you into the difficulty versus Factorio really isn't gentle about it. That's saying something. Alright, so we need all 3 of these to make that one, and then for this just requires more of these to produce the electromagnetic turbine. Alright. So let's bring this back up here. Dismantle that because we're just going to remove or move it to here. Electric gen, or electric motor. Put things going. Let's get everything set up first and foremost. Then we'll worry about supplying power and getting it running. I think this is the only one that actually needs iron coming in, too, out of this line. And we need to bring graphite over to here. There's coal right there. You just said, yeah, we can make that work. Alright, might as well power this on. Get this moving. Gonna run into the titanium line here in a moment. Fair. Alright. It's those. We can always move it up if we need to. Oops, wrong spot. And we're probably gonna need to, but... Wait, why am I doing it this way? It no longer needs to be like that, so move it over. Bring this one up. Start making these. There we go. So we've got that going. We'll figure out if we need anything else there at some point. That one's not really necessary. And then to make the final bit in the line, we need to bring up the metal rings. Should be easy enough. And then we need to bring up graphite. We don't need a whole lot of. So it should just be as easy as make one of those. We need iron. Sure. Build 3. It works. Alright, give me the graphite. And then these, I think I can just run forward. Yeah. These can just be run forward and that'll be fine. Two. There. Yeah, one of these 3 ways to build it out. I'm aware that it's not going to be painless, but there we go. So now I have those being constructed. That'll ease up a little bit of this effort. Could almost just do 2 of them. 2 production facilities for them. Especially as slow as it is. Okay, yeah. Come on. There we go. Just have that go that way. I think I need to move all these like that. And then I can put the one down. Yeah. Alright, so we got this going, this going. Hello, Sashi. My cat has come to say hello. Alright, so it doesn't want to do that. Let's try this way then. Yeah, that'll work. Alright, fair enough. And we just set this one up also to build. I need more iron. So I can build this. Now, what is building slowly? Those. Okay. Well, let's just fix that problem by doing this. That should fix any sort of not producing. Ideally. Do we have to add a fourth one?
Flight
I
mode.
think so. Or, well, third. Alright. Let's fix this problem then before creating any others. We'll just add another iron producing one right here to balance that out. And my cat is knocking over stuff. Yay. She's a good girl. She's an old girl, but she's a good girl. It's good to see her have some energy for a while. Okay, now we can start working on getting that. One ray receiver building. Alright, and I think next time we're gonna have to start focusing on
You've built a ray receiver. It can receive high-energy rays from the Dyson sphere and directly transmit them into the power grid.
okay.
However, due to limited receiving efficiency, the ray receiver will request greater input power than the actual output. You can improve the receiving efficiency by continuously running it or upgrading technologies.
Okay. Are you actually... I don't understand then. What is... I mean, it's going. I think it's going. Huh. Okay. So it's at max production currently, and that's why it can't do anything? But also... I'll have to figure that one out. But as always, thank you for joining me here by the campfire. If you like the video, like it, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And as always, have a wonderful day.